The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It's Monday, and it's about as good as Mondays can be. We had like some weird storms last night. I didn't wake up for it or anything, but I woke up this morning. It was like just tapering off, and my kids just got dropped back off like 25 minutes ago. And I went in the backyard, and we had a whole bunch of branches that had fallen down. So it was actually, must have been a pretty bad storm. Like one of our lawn chairs was in the middle of the yard off the deck. It was pretty nuts. But how are you guys doing? Should I start, John? I love what you're talking about on your Saturday DPH. Yeah, it's fun going back through that stuff. I did realize, though, as I was going through it, like I thought I prepared and did a good enough outline, but my brain was so all over the place going back through the series that I realized I need to do a better job organizing my thoughts and outlining how I want to re-represent the series. But it has been fun, with Devolution being back in the news again a little bit, kind of going a little more mainstream. And maybe it's just a little fad because this lady has a book coming out, but maybe there's something more. I don't know. But either way, it is fun. I'm getting more interview requests again, which I might do a few of those. We'll see. Phil Scarborough says, boy, there is some retardation going on over General Flynn. There is indeed. And I will talk about that. Probably won't spend a whole lot of time on it because that is exactly what it is, retardation. But it is worth discussing, the ins and outs of what's happening throughout the truth community when things arise. So Ramon 222, Wisconsin cannot elect a communist governor. Just putting that out there so everyone knows. Well, here's the thing. Wisconsin doesn't elect anybody because their elections are fraudulent. So it is possible, theoretically at least, that person could take office. The Q Awakening, whoa, Newsweek. Trump was right about Venezuela. Yeah, he was right. He's been right about many things over the years. On a long enough timeline, Trump is right about everything. At least half of what he says, because the other half is psyops. The Bunny, I just had 2 tabs in Rumble rolling and YouTube. That was some crazy echo. I do appreciate people who open up both a Rumble and a YouTube page because it definitely helps out the metric side of things. Real quick, some housekeeping before we get into the show. And it's a Monday, so news isn't terribly all that exciting, but there are some things to discuss. Before we do that, reminder, we have a Badlands meetup coming up this next Sunday, August 9th, in the afternoon. We have a time now. It's going to be from 2 to 4:30 at an undisclosed location. You can only get the location if you RSVP to badlandsmeetups@gmail.com. If you're in Florida and want to come hang out with a whole bunch of Badlanders, myself, CanCon, JB White, RSVP, come hang out. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, Anner says just mute YouTube. Rocky Top Apologist, wonder if the Devo series would work on Story Hour. I doubt it. I am, people are saying you should do a Devolution for Dummies. I am going to do something like that. I'm doing like the longer form thing on the Devolution Power Hour, but I'm going to make like a shorter, I don't know, with a lot of overlays, and it's in the it might take a while for that though, because I have things coming up, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, come to the meetup, everybody. It's going to be a great time. And then also you can get your GART tickets. GART tickets for Vegas are now on sale. So it's like a meetup, but a million times even more fun because it's longer. So get those. And then let's get a quick word from a couple of our sponsors, and we will we'll start plugging away. First up, we got Tamarac Gardens. If I can find their ad, which I cannot right now. What the heck? Let's do soft disclosure first.
Soft Disclosure deodorant is made with purity-tested ingredients like organic arrowroot powder, magnesium hydroxide, and nourishing plant oils. This deodorant keeps you fresh without covering up the truth. Activated charcoal works like a magnet to help draw out impurities, while green matcha tea brings antioxidant power to protect and calm skin. Aluminum-free, stain-free, and formulated to last up to 2 months of daily use.
Whole bus fresh, no steak on me. Soft Disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete. Mint, lemon, grapefruit, lavender tea.
It helps fight odor without blocking the body's natural sweat. And every purchase helps support 6 American small businesses. Buy 2 deodorants, get a free lip balm. Or visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code FRESH for 15% off.
What are you doing?
Soft Disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete.
It's so funny that they use like our actual old pictures from playing baseball back in the day. Like this is me. I think I've shown this before, but this is me back roughly around the same, a little bit older than the picture they used for that soft disclosure ad. But yeah, I kind of did look like that. Went with the buzz cut all the time. Didn't have the mustache. I was so skinny, scrawny. But yeah, that's back when the baseball glory days were taking place. But yeah, softdisclosure.com, everybody. Get yourself some soft disclosure. You will not regret it. Go read the reviews on the website. Tell your friends and family. It's an awesome product. And we also have Tamarac Garden. Now I have the ad finally ready to go.
3 boys taught me 2 things. Summer is an adventure and bugs are relentless. As an herbalist, I know you don't need harsh chemicals to protect your family. Here at Tamarac Garden, we've got you covered with natural sunscreen, mosquito and tick repellent that's even safe for your pets, a salve to draw out bug bites, and soothing sunburn cream, all made with the power of plants. Because we think summer memories should last longer than the bug bites. Tamarac Garden. Protect your family naturally and eat your weeds.
Eat your weeds, everybody. Thank you, Tamarac Gardens. We have one more sponsor, but I'll get to them a little bit later. Let's start plugging away here. Silver hovering around 4,050. Or sorry, that's gold. Silver is at 58.24. Bitcoin is up to 63,780. And gas prices came down a little bit from last week. Last week, Friday closed out at $4.11, and right now it's down to $4.09.5. So that's amazing. And the reason it's come down is because the flip-flop of the conflict going on in Iran. This was 2 days ago, 9:05 p.m., and we didn't even talk about this at all on the Saturday Power Hour, did we? He gave it to us on a silver platter. We should have. The USA is locked and loaded and ready to go against the Islamic Republic of Iran at levels of military terror, strength, and power not seen since World War II. Despite this, we have just been asked by Iran and other Middle Eastern countries to hold off any attack, and that the perimeters of a deal, parameters? He probably meant parameters there. Anyway, maybe it's just the outer edge of a deal. The outer edges of a deal has been agreed to. This would include the immediate, complete, and total opening of the Hormuz Strait and an end to Iran's nuclear threat. Based on this request, I've agreed for the future benefit of the world and likewise the survival of a successful and prosperous Iran to cancel the attack, subject to being able to rapidly make a deal. The country of Israel joins me in this commitment. Get to work, everybody, and get it done. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. And then he posted this just about an hour and a half ago regarding Iran. And then I'm going to tell you what CNN is saying about it. So we're going to get all sides of the story here. Iranian leadership is unbelievably duplicitous. They ask for a meeting. Some would say beg. Talks begin with more scheduled in the immediate future. And they say openly and proudly that they are not having any discussions, that nothing is being talked about, and they're only dealing with Oman. They then go on to give their usual blather and saying the Strait of Hormuz will be operated powerfully by them when it is already completely controlled by the United States Navy and our blockade, or as some say, the United States wall of steel. Nothing gets through to Iran unless we want it to, and nothing will get through unless a deal or total surrender is accomplished. Whether Iran wants to admit it or not, we are in fact talking of a solution to a problem that they have caused for decades. It is very simple. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And yeah, CNN, no, I might just play a little bit of this video.
So now, just tell us a little bit more of what we know about these negotiations before they begin.
Well, as you mentioned, Paolo, we are still seeing some daylight between the United States, the Trump administration, and Iranian officials, according to the messaging and rhetoric we are hearing at this point. As you heard there from the US president, he seems pretty adamant that we are expecting to see those talks taking place today, another round of negotiations in an attempt to mediate some sort of diplomatic resolution. And that is certainly what Gulf allies of the United States and others in the region have been pushing for. Many of these nations, of course, bearing the brunt of this recent escalation, seeing yet more attacks from the Iranian regime, from missiles to drone attacks, targeting not only civilian areas, but also, of course, US military assets in the Gulf region. There has been a real push by Gulf nations and others in the region, including mediators in Pakistan, to try to bring everyone back to the negotiating table to try to prevent a further escalation. But in terms of what we're hearing from the Iranian regime at this point, it is that staunch, quite clear rejection of this attempt of negotiations, or the fact that they had called for a return to the negotiating table. We've seen reports according.
Yeah, so essentially Iran is saying that they're not trying to negotiate while Trump is, and Trump is calling them liars. Like, it's a whole he said, she said, he said, whatever. And it's all so stupid. And it's the same thing we've been doing, the same cycle we've been repeating for like 3 months now. We have won this war. Like, it's got to be a record. Like, and I'm going to say 69 times. We've won this war 69 times, okay? It's just getting old. It's just getting old. But that's nothing new on that front other than that. So we'll see where it goes. But there is this story that came out from the Middle East Eye. Never heard of this site before. But apparently the U.S. military has helped over 1,000 ships cross the Strait of Hormuz since May. A U.S. Central Command CENTCOM spokesperson told Al Jazeera that it has assisted over 1,000 ships in crossing the Strait of Hormuz since early May. They added CENTCOM remained on high alert and ready to support commercial ships wanting to cross. President Donald Trump had launched Operation Project Freedom on May 4th to escort merchant ships out of the Gulf, though the project was abandoned 2 days later amid negotiation efforts. Before the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, around 20% of the global oil and liquefied natural gas supply transited through the waterway. So yeah, is it really closed? That's a lot of ships. I don't know how many ships normally go through there. Well, let's look that up. How many ships traveled the Strait of Hormuz on a typical day before the war? It's probably like 1,000, so this is probably like nothing. Before the war, a typical day saw about 100 to 130 ships. So yeah, I guess 1,000 ships isn't really that much. Probably just depends what it is. But anyway, 12 Indie Boy sent a link in. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, I did see this. Michigan confirms first 2 deaths in the diarrhea outbreak. Cyclospora. Michigan health authorities on Monday reported the first 2 deaths from the ongoing cyclospora outbreak. The Michigan Health Department said that both individuals had significant underlying health conditions that may have affected the cyclospora sporiasis and dehydration. I mean, it would be the worst. I mean, maybe not the worst. I don't know, but it would not be ideal to have explosive diarrhea be the cause of your death. Could you imagine? I don't want to imagine. I mean, I've had diarrhea, so I could probably kind of imagine, but I haven't died from it. So I can't imagine that part. Michigan has reported 11,234 cases and 193 hospitalizations tied to the outbreak. Are they trying to make this the next COVID? Just like a little bit more disgusting? It's like food poisoning, isn't it? I wonder how many people die. How many people die from food poisoning every year? Depends on whether you mean the U.S. or the world. In the United States, foodborne illnesses cause about 3,000 deaths per year. Globally, it's about 1.52 million deaths per year. Because you know how like they did COVID was actually kind of just the flu that they, maybe I'll get a strike on YouTube for medical misinformation, but that's what a lot of people say. That's the theory, is that COVID was just the flu because there was like no flu cases that year. Is this just food poisoning, cyclospora? I don't know. 12 Indie Boy says, I think they're trying to scare the shit out of us. Ash says, poop vid. That's not a very catchy name. Ash 1776 says, if our medical system can't stop death by diarrhea, what good is it anyway? And that's a great point. If there's one thing our government should be able to do for us, out of all the like public services that our taxes allegedly go to, you'd think stopping death by diarrhea would be like near the top 10 of that list. But apparently it's not. Because they're trying to prevent people from going to the polls. They're trying to do another mail-in ballot thing because nobody wants to get the diarrhea bug. M. Gibby says, I'm afraid of what kind of test we will have to do for this. You don't want to know. It's similar to what the Chinese did for COVID tests. Do you remember that when they were doing like anal testing? COVID. I'm almost scared to type this in. COVID anal testing. Yeah. Anal swab COVID testing is a real but uncommon method of detecting SARS-CoV-2. That's how you know you're too far gone. You are unsalvageable. If you took anal COVID tests, you are one of those 3% or whatever that will never be woken up. Too funny. Don't do it, John. St. Pete 70 says these poop stories are a running joke. Runs for toilet paper. Literally buy Pepto. Yeah, I mean, the toilet paper shortage that we experienced in COVID, could you imagine if it was a diarrhea illness? Could you imagine the shortages? Dang, might be worth investing in some toilet paper companies like a Charmin. Oh, we should we should create our own toilet paper. We should have a toilet paper line for self-disclosure. Anyway, badwipes.com. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? We could talk about the Flynn thing, but if I'm being honest, I don't know why everybody's freaking out about it. I really don't. I think it might be because of the $100,000 thing he got from whatever country. I don't remember anymore. We covered it on the show, though, like 2 months ago. I'm pretty sure it was on the show. Can you guys tell me? Do you remember? Did I talk about Flynn receiving money from a foreign country on this show? Or maybe it was the Power Hour. I don't know. I know I've talked about it, though, at some point. Like 2 months ago. But here's the thing. Whatever the drama is about this, it comes down to the stupid loyalty tests again. And the truth community is notorious for these loyalty tests with these TV characters, when at the end of the day, nobody really knows on a personal level any of these people. Nobody actually knows them. Anybody defending them or not, like maybe they're acquaintances, maybe they're friends, but nobody knows like what's on their heart or any of that stuff. Like, how can you possibly say that he's a good guy or a bad guy? That's the thing. He's not my friend. I've texted him, I met him, like we've been friendly towards each other. He's not my enemy either. And like I haven't built my identity around him being a white hat or a bad guy, like either one. And so Like, I don't need to perform any outrage that I don't actually feel against him. And I don't need to like perform loyalty that I don't necessarily feel either. And like this is why it is so important, in my opinion, to not allow yourself to become emotionally attached to the stories that we see online and the characters who participate or are the subject of those stories. Because if you can separate yourself from that, you can remain mostly objective and actually like see the ops that are going on instead of wasting all your time defending something that you don't even actually know is worth defending, or attacking something that you don't actually know is worth attacking. People get so sucked into this drama, and every week it's a new thing. And for a while there, guys, you know, a little while ago, multiple times actually, it's happened throughout the course of Badlands and even before Badlands. The drama was aimed at us, at me, my friends. But these people, they just have to like, if you don't agree with everything I say, you're the enemy. And that's what we're seeing right now. And next week it'll be a new thing. And the week after that it'll be a new thing. And it's super annoying. PJ Corrin, it's not John's birthday until Obama Day. Yeah. Lance 2002, General Flynn is above board on his foreign influence money. Ask Alpha. Yeah. I mean, I know what Alpha says. I know what Josh says. I know people on both sides of that thing. Like, some people don't trust him. Some people do. I don't care. It's like I have no skin in that game. If Flynn comes out and ends up being like a bad guy, I'm not going to lose sleep over that, because I've not emotionally attached myself or built my identity around him being one thing or another. And like, I saw the push from Patrick Byrne. That's an op, by the way. Like, Flynn for president 2028. I obviously don't support that. And it's not because Flynn maybe he would be a great candidate, but my mind is not on that. My mind is on Trump 2028. And once that is completely ruled out, which I don't think it will be, but once that is actually completely off the table, then I'll start shopping around. I'll put my vote up for sale, my stolen vote up for sale. But right now, that's an op. That's an attempt to divide the movement. Whether Flynn is participating in that or not is probably yet to be determined. But I said like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, whenever it was, when I first saw that he was taking FARA money from that other country, $100,000. He says, I think it was only one payment of $100,000. The FARA registration thing said itself, it was $100,000 per month. Either way, I said, like, yeah, that's kind of lame. Like, you are literally taking money to be an agent of a foreign country to push their propaganda or whatever on American citizens here in America. That's what FARA is for. You're getting paid by a foreign country to do something on their behalf. Typically, it's here domestically. It's not very America first to me. That's literally the other country first and your pocketbooks first. And I'm not going to blame the guy for making money. Like, he's a capitalist. I've said before, like, if Russia wanted to pay us a bunch of money, we'd pay a bunch of money. The only thing we wouldn't do is actually let that control what we do or say. Anybody's allowed to give us money. I don't care who you are, but you'll never be allowed to dictate what we do or say. That's just it. So I don't know, guys. I know that our own government did bankrupt him too. Yes, but our government also did give him a ton of money, a settlement after that as well. They put him through a lot of crap. Yes. Deservedly so? Probably not. But at the end of the day, we don't know what we don't know. You have to leave the possibilities for multiple different outcomes open, and be okay with the fact that you may never see which outcome it ends up being. We may never know. Eventually might all just fade away. But like I'm saying with not just Flynn, with everybody, you have to leave open the possibility that we're wrong about some of our baseline assumptions of who these people are and what their real goals and motives are. Dave L 1975 book sales paid for it. Maybe. Ash 1776, how do we know all that is real? You're going to need to be more specific. Gator Rob, R&D destroyed while Mega splits and America Now people in middle pulling moderates, so will dominate moderate to far right and leave bankrupt libtards hanging way out left. R&D being destroyed. I'm trying to parse everything you're saying here. Because like Democrat Party, yes, I agree, being destroyed for the most part. There's an article I had ready for today. Bernie Sanders blasts Dem establishment as way, way out of touch with American voters as he defends fellow socialists. The Democratic Party is out of touch. America wants socialism, says Bernie Sanders. During the Midas Touch podcast on Sunday, host Jack Coach, or how do you say his name? I'm going to call him Cooch, like Coochie. Cucciarella asked the Vermont Independent whether he agrees the argument that democratic socialists who believe in open borders and eradicating prisons should not be registered as Democrats. He says, well, maybe the converse is true. Sanders shot back. Maybe the Democratic establishment should begin to understand they are way, way out of touch with where American people are, that we don't need a party anymore, which is dominated by wealthy campaign contributions or contributors. Sanders went on to blast Dems for kowtowing to billionaire donors, saying, the donor class said you should be the candidate for Senate. You should be running for president. I don't think that's where the American people are. Well, guess what? You are a senator. How did you get there? You also ran for president, Bernie Sanders. You also have like 3 houses. He's such a hypocrite. So stupid. But the Democrat Party splitting, whatever, obvious infighting, just like the Republican Party. I want both those parties destroyed. I don't want to be in a party system anymore. It shouldn't have to be that way. You shouldn't have to be like funneled into one camp and told like, well, that's the camp you're in. You have to do this. You have to believe this. I just want to believe what I want to believe and do what I want to do. And I wish we would get rid of the party system. They're corporations anyway. I doubt that's what the founders intended. But whatever. I'll move on. I'm not going to try to parse the rest of your comment, Gator Rob, but thank you. Ash 1776, the stuff the government put Flynn through, allegedly. Oh, that's what she's saying. How do we know all that is real? That's a great point. We don't. That's a story we were told. And I guarantee you, Flynn, I know he was bankrupted for a period. At least that's what we're told. But he's also made a ton of money. I've tried to get him to come speak at a GART. I was like, hey man, we are doing the thing that you preach. We're doing the local action, national impact. Like, throw us a bone. We'll pay for your travel. We'll pay for your stay, for you and your security. Let's come speak at the event. I'm like, okay, but presented us with a very large speaking fee. And I was like, I ain't doing that. The only people I pay to speak at my conferences are Badlands hosts. And you guys can help support that by getting a virtual ticket, because that's where that money comes from. It's not a lot, but it helps. Where am I at here in the chat? Parties provide election money. Without them, what would you do? I don't know. I think that whole thing needs to be reformed as well. And I've always talked about how the party system and the campaign finance stuff needs to be changed, like completely start from scratch changed. But I've never actually thought of like possibilities of what that might look like or what some other options would be. So I think there does need to be other options. Obviously, if you're going to start something over from scratch, you need to do it differently. But I think you need to get rid of like anybody off the street should be allowed to run for office, and there shouldn't be so many roadblocks. And the corporation, the RNC and DNC, should not be the ones that are in charge of those roadblocks, because as the gatekeepers to who gets on the ballot, they're going to be able to put establishment candidates in there. That's a huge part of the problem. Like, if there's somebody truly America first out there and in this for the right reasons, unless they are incredibly wealthy and well-connected, it is very difficult for them to actually make waves and get on a ballot. Like, you have to start so local, and maybe that's the way to do it. You start super local and work your way up the county and state and city governments and stuff before you get to a bigger office. But even that is challenging. Like, it's mostly people that they can control, that they allow to get that far in the process. So that needs to be fixed. And then, like, the money that goes into this, the lobbyists, the super PACs, all of it. It's just so gross. Fix Bayonet. Sorry, I can only come speak on spreading liberty if you pay me an offensive amount of money. That's essentially what it felt like. Dragon 45, he wants 50 grand to speak. Doesn't seem like someone that wants to help. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money. And even if I could afford that, I wouldn't, just out of principle of what we're trying to do, I would not pay that to anybody. In Georgia, you can get on the ballot for $5,000. Is that it? That seems low. Ash 7076, it's a battle of the PACs. If you eliminate the parties, it will still be a battle of the PACs. The parties are a distraction, John. We should start a PAC. Ooh. I don't know how to start a PAC. But I like the idea of, like, Badpac. We find the worst candidate in every election and support them. And by worst, I don't mean, like, I'm not going to go support a liberal or anything like that. I'm saying, like, just ridiculous policy. Or we can support actual good ones. You know what, Ash, here's this. I'll tell you what. You run for office. Your kids are all grown. You have nothing tying you down. You run for office, and I will start Badpac. I'm actually going to go get the domain for it right now before I lose it. To somebody in the checks. I saw somebody posted in there. Escape the Matrix. Ooh, I can get it super cheap. Doing it. Badpac.com. Hold on, I'm just gonna go to my cart. I'm dead. I'm actually, like, buying this right now. I just want to make sure the screen doesn't have any personal information on it, and then I'll show you. Yeah, see here. Badpac.com. There we go. This is the start of us taking things to the next level. That's what this represents. There you go, Ash. When you're ready to run, we got some funding for you. All right, let's see if there's any other stories that I want to get into. Oh, the Daily Herald. 12 Indie Boy sent a rant into the Daily Herald saying Badlands brings family together, celebrating Carrie's B-Day today. Happy early B-Day to you also. Well, yes, happy birthday, Carrie. To remind me to shoot her a text. And yes, my birthday is tomorrow. I think my kids asked me the other day how old I was turning. I couldn't remember. I had to, like, think about it. But yes, I'm turning 36. A couple of random interesting stories. Trump's DOJ subpoenas reporter over 2019 North Korea SEAL mission leak. They're going after leakers, guys. And I love it. The media sucks, and I want them all to be in prison. So let's go for it. The Trump administration has subpoenaed freelance reporter Matthew. Before that gets, like, taken out of context, I don't literally want every single reporter ever, or news person, journalist, whatever you want to call them, to be in prison. But I do want the people that have lied and spread all this propaganda about Trump and participated in the leak culture from the intelligence community. I do want all of them to be in prison. Yes. They subpoenaed freelance reporter Matthew Cole, seeking to have him reveal his sources for a New York Times article on a top secret 2019 Navy SEAL Team 6 mission in North Korea. FBI agents delivered the grand jury subpoena, which had not been previously reported, to Cole's New York home in February, issued by prosecutors in Newport News, Virginia. Demands 2 years of information on his contacts and conversations as investigators work to identify who leaked details of the classified op. The Times article, co-reported last fall by Cole and staff writer Dave Phillips, described how SEALs killed 2 or 3 unarmed North Koreans who stumbled upon a mission to plant a secret eavesdropping device near the country's coastline. The account drew on interviews with 24 people Phillips has not been subpoenaed. Do you remember that story? I know we talked about it on the Power Hour because it was so ridiculous. They're like, the SEALs went in under the cover of nightfall because they wanted to put a bug in Kim Jong-un's bedroom. And they were like stumbled upon by a group of fishermen and they just killed them all. And at the time, it's like, okay, well, one, how do we know they were fishermen other than like, that's just what you're saying. It could have been Koreans, could have been North Korean army people, Navy, what do they have? The Navy up there. But also the idea of them like having to go and plant a listening device in his room, like an office or whatever they're saying, that seems super far-fetched. I feel like one, we would already have spies in North Korea that could probably just plant that stuff. Two, there's a device they told us about back when the early days of the Iran war, many moons ago, when a chopper went down and we had to do that daring rescue, which there's already a movie. I think Michael Bay or somebody's already in the process of like, he's got the rights to the movie. He's going to make a movie about it. But how they found that person was using technology that we could like separate their heartbeat via a satellite in space or something crazy. Like satellites in space are able to identify and track and monitor anybody's heartbeat at any time. Like talk about a heart attack gun. Like they have to shoot thing. Imagine what they can do from space with that thing. But anyway, that's a whole nother problem we have to worry about. I have a very difficult time believing we don't have technology out there that can like super listen to vibrations from super far away, that we're probably beyond the, I need to go plant a device in the vicinity of somebody. I feel like that technology exists. We just have no idea. John, if they can hear your heartbeat from space, it means they can listen to your conversation. That's what I'm kind of trying to say. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you. Okay, let's go. I already did that story. This is kind of going around. Last week we talked about Blanche and how he probably wasn't going to be confirmed. Well, it turns out now he might be confirmed because Cornyn Tillis confirmed plans to back Blanche, essentially clinching his nomination. Senators Tillis and Cornyn issued a joint statement Monday confirming their plans to support Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche for confirmation. They had sought written confirmation from the Department of Justice that it would abandon an anti-weaponization fund that it had briefly established as part of a settlement with the IRS over the leak of President Donald Trump's tax returns. Blanche obliged. We want to express our gratitude, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you what they actually put out there. Oh, that's not it. I can show you the two statements that he put out. Here we go. My team and I have met, and this was last night, 10 p.m. Central. My team and I have met with committee members and senators over the past several weeks and addressed any concerns or outstanding questions. We have enjoyed good faith discussions and as a result issue the following order and update with regard to the May IRS settlement. The department always welcomes and appreciates productive engagement with all members of Congress. And this is the first one. The Attorney General's May 18th, 2026 order establishing the anti-weaponization fund is rescinded and shall have no force or effect. And then B, for the avoidance of doubt, nothing in this order is intended to contradict or otherwise be contrary to prior representations by the Department of Justice that the fund is not operative. No members were appointed, no funds were transferred, no process for receiving claims was established, no claims were paid. Nevertheless, several frivolous lawsuits have been filed challenging the fund, and at least one court has declined to dismiss those claims as moot. This order establishes beyond any doubt that there is no fund. And then this is the order. Department of Justice rescinds anti-weaponization order and addresses the May 19 release. Announced today the order is rescinded, blah, blah, blah. So they've rescinded it. Shouldn't have done it in the first place. That's my opinion, though. I know not everybody agrees with that. And no, Lance 2002, does anyone trust Cornyn or Tillis? I certainly do not. We got a couple more rants that came in, and one of these looks funny because it's from Keith O'Higgins. Ash says, John, if you run out of things to talk about, check your text. Also sent in Telegram, but you have to read the text for context. Oh no, it's kind of scary. But then Keith O'Higgins says badbuttwipes.com, MAAAFA, making America and assholes first again. It's the caboose of the Trump train. Okay, let me see what Ash sent and see if I want to get into it. My friend Holly made that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's look at this. Let me pull up what she sent in Telegram. Just give me a second to get this to the right spot. Hold for process. I just gotta share it. She sent in Telegram, so it takes a second to like get it saved and put up. So this is a release, and I'm gonna just give them the context too. Ash, my friend Holly made this during the pandemic, and people thought it was real and got really mad when they found out it was a joke. And it says, do your part, bend for a friend, for immediate release from the National COVID Testing Alliance. Setting the tone, Colorado state and local health officials agreed to daily anal swab COVID testing. In a move to further follow the science, local health officials joined the national NCTA-sponsored movement to improve COVID testing. The new National COVID Testing Alliance has gained traction with its National Bend for a Friend campaign. The goal of the program is to enroll all health officials who oversee local COVID and mask mandates to take a stand against fighting the spread of the illness by targeting local health officials. They believe they can set the tone. It's funny. They basically thought they were going to be anally COVID testing a whole bunch of government employees. That's hilarious. Thank you for saying that in, Ash. Not that I was out of things to talk about. I do think I have a couple more headlines. There's a House committee. So this is how it always works. Whenever something big happens, like whether it's from the Trump or the Trump administration or whatever, any big news story comes out that represents some sort of issue, Congress needs to be the ones to investigate. And these are the limited hangouts of the political world. House committees seek records on how New Jersey found non-citizen voter registrations amid dispute. So they want more social media hearings for social media clips so they can get in on the action of everybody freaking out about the New Jersey non-citizens on the voter registrations. Aren't they doing this for everywhere? If they actually cared about the problem, they'd be doing this for everyone. And they would have already been doing it if they actually cared about election integrity, but they don't. So that's why they haven't done it. But because the New Jersey thing became so viral for a little bit, they had to start a committee or use their existing committees to investigate it. Because they'll certainly get to the bottom of it. And here's the thing. This is what typically happens. They say they're going to do it. Them saying they're going to do it. Like I'm sure Anna Paulina Luna's out there with a bunch of tweets. And no, I haven't even checked this. I'm just assuming. If you went back to the New Jersey thing, there's probably tweets where she is saying something like, this has to stop. We're going to investigate and get to the bottom of this. And then what happens? Nothing. We never actually get any new traction. Just like she did with the UAP files, just like she did with the JFK files, just like she did when she was going to give us all the Epstein names. I could go on and on and on. And it's not just her, it's all of Congress. This is how they operate. This is them pretending to do things in order to keep getting paid by the taxpayer. I know I have a couple more here. Let me find them. I think. Oh, here we go. Remember back when SpaceX was launching its IPO and everybody's like, oh, I can't wait, I'm gonna get it. And I was like, I'm gonna wait because it's gonna spark up right away. Great. Then it's gonna come way back down below its IPO price. And I'm gonna get it for a discount. And I think we're almost there, if not already there. SpaceX's post-IPO plunge sets tense backdrop for first earnings report. Since its first trade on June 12th, SpaceX has lost over $500 billion in market cap, a stunning blow to retail investors who jumped into Elon Musk's rocket company at their first opportunity. Stock is coming off its fourth straight weekly loss and is more than 50% off its intraday high. Not since Facebook's IPO in 2012 have tech investors seen such a high-profile offering lead to such early disappointment. But yeah, so their first earnings call is coming up, and people are freaking out already a little bit. I bet it comes down further. That's not financial advice in any way, but that's just a guess. There's also this. Oh, I already read that story. I thought I had one more. The White House is hosting a bunch of AI companies on Tuesday, tomorrow. And this is on the heels of the OpenAI leaking into the internet and hacking Hugging Face and all those other, like that whole story. And Sam Altman coming out like, we need to regulate this a little bit. Now we're having AI companies meet at the White House. They're probably going to try to regulate a bunch of stuff. I was about to say the S word and switch it to stuff last second. That's why I accidentally said stiff. But yeah, they're going to try to regulate this. But who knows? I have heard that maybe more government is the answer to everything. E.H. Kyle, John, how about the Treasury is loading funds to support the Japanese yen from crashing, which keeps the U.S. dollar the dominant currency? As usual, the media has the wrong take about what Bessent is doing. Yeah, I understand what he's doing, but I'm also not sure. I don't care. We're $40 trillion in debt. What month? I think it's October we passed the $40 trillion mark. When will the U.S. surpass 40 trillion in debt? Oh, multiple debt trackers reported the milestone on July 31st or August 1st. What? No way. Guys, we missed it. How do we know? I need a source on this. See, some places say not quite yet. U.S. debt clock, maybe. Although it's not like an official government agency, so I don't know if you put any stock into this, but yeah, they still have it less than 40 trillion. Which we should throw some sort of party here, I think, when it does actually cross. Massey freaking out. What is Massey freaking out about? Yeah, he got caught lying about some things today or yesterday. I guess every day. Maybe that's part of the freak out. Maybe it's because Flynn had to post a picture with him. I really don't remember. Skeptical. OpenAI wants regulations so it can solidify themselves and kill competition. F them. That is completely accurate. Skeptical then says the debt number is fake and gay. It's a number with no meaning as it can be paid off under the system of the Fed. Yeah, I mean, they create the debt just by printing money and all sorts of issues. I agree with you, and I'm not pretending to be an expert. I do believe in diversifying your assets, though. Badlandsgold.com and badlandsmedia.tv/river. Get some gold and silver and Bitcoin. But anyway, Edgar Friendly, you have to wait to buy SpaceX until the lockup of the IPO expires. That's when the insiders sell. Only after that can you buy it, then back up the truck and buy. Edgar Friendly then says, take your time buying SpaceX. It does not appear to have one single lockup expiration date. It has a staggered schedule. The first major unlock is reported to be August 6th of 2026, with the 180-day lockup block fully expiring on December 8th. Huh. Nanya, yesterday my brother played me an interview of RFK going at it with Dana Bash for about 20 minutes about vaccines and COVID. Yeah. Balance Me fan says, is it a boop if we surpass 40 trillion on John's birthday? I think it is. That's tomorrow. We need who, like, how are we going to, we need some sort of official source. Like, is Trump going to post about the debt? Does that count? And then blame Republicans for it or something? I don't know. We do have another sponsor to get to real quick, and I want to do that now. And then I'll see if there's anything else I want to talk about. And then we'll get out of here, get you over to Y-Chromes. And that is Rumble Wallet. And there is like a new disclaimer thing I have to read. I'm just forewarning you, it's lame. But here it is anyway. All right. This is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet. Rumble is compensating me for this ad. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary. Offer available to U.S. residents only. Offer not available in New York State. Must be 18 plus. Offers available for limited time and for the first 250 wallets activated and funded. Restrictions apply. Details and full official rules available at rumble.com/promo official rules. So quick question. How much control do you have over your money right now? Technology has changed everything, and now it's changing how money works. Crypto started as a niche, but now it's going mainstream with faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. This isn't hype. It's just where things are going. And getting started today is easier than you think. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stablecoins, and even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one place in a non-custodial crypto wallet, which means you, not a bank or a platform, controls access to your funds. Setup is simple. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running in just minutes. And for a limited time, you can start your wallet with $20 in US stablecoin by downloading Rumble Wallet and entering the exclusive promo code Herold20 when you sign up now. You can even use your Rumble Wallet to support your favorite Rumble creators, like those of us here at Badlands, directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description, or go to wallet.rumble.com/Herold and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, enter promo code Herold10 or Herold20, to get your $20 in US stablecoin. It's a limited time offer, so act now. Take control of your money and get started with Rumble Wallet today. Again, terms and conditions apply. See the description below or visit rumble.com/promo official rules for details. They've upped it to $20 now, guys. That's pretty awesome. Not going to lie. Oh, what the heck? I only got 10, Tracy. Sorry, Tracy. Maybe if you send an email to Rumble and be like, that's not fair. Maybe they'll, I don't know, give you an extra $10 or something. Give you a month of premium for free. Trump is live right now. I know we're covering that special. I guess I might be out of stories. Let me check Twitter one more time. Oh, I did forget. I almost forgot to show this. Yesterday, so Saturday on the Power Hour, and last week we covered that lady Annie Jacobson being on Joe Rogan talking about devolution. Well, her book's out or whatever. She's making the rounds, and she was also mentioned by the New York Post. There's an article in here I thought was interesting. America's terrifying secret plan to deal with biological weapon attacks. The United States is under biological attack from a genetically modified plague. There is chaos in the streets, diarrhea everywhere, people killing neighbors they believe have the contagious bug for fear of it spreading. In the White House, the country's Secretary of Defense is informing the president of the nature of the plague when the Secret Service bursts in the room and grabs the president, preparing to move him to an undisclosed location alone, far from all humanity. The National Security Advisor appears at the doorway suddenly and tells the president that he needs to move us to devolution. The president complies, and with that, the United States of America, as we know it, is done. See, this is just a fundamental misunderstanding of how the devolution plan, I believe, would actually be implemented. I believe it's implemented with the PED, and the PED is preconditional, and the PED is the Presidential Emergency Action Documents. We're going to go through this on Wednesday's Power Hour and in that standalone thing, whatever I end up doing. But those are like ready-to-go orders that when a certain condition is met, president signs it, off and away they go. The NSA doesn't just come to the doorway and be like, sir, we need the D in evolution. And he's like, okay, let's do it. Go. Ready, set, go. It's not quite how it works. But anyway, the scenario here is fictional. Is it though? I mean, the pandemic is, but the use of devolution may not be. But the horrors are not only possible, but based on real actions, plans, and fears collected by veteran author Annie Jacobson. The book lays out real worst-case scenario possibilities. Let me scroll down to more parts about devolution. I do not want to read this whole thing. Jacobson's scenario concludes with the implementation of devolution, a real-life plan to keep the government functioning in the event of a national catastrophe of near extinction proportions. You know, a national catastrophe could also be a stolen election with the help of a foreign country. Devolution is a secret transfer of power to backup leaders in hidden command centers, writes Jacobson. Devolution ensures the government keeps running even as the nation's infrastructure collapses and hundreds of millions of American citizens die. Jacobson writes that the devolution plan would be activated when officials fear that what is happening could result in America's downfall. The mysterious and intentionally opaque government program known as the devolution plan, that's all caps, has been covertly rehearsed countless of times over 8 decades. In every administration since the invention of the atomic bomb, devolution is the final federal government effort to maintain a last tenuous thread of control. In her scenario, the president invokes the Insurrection Act, plunging the nation into martial law, and shuts down the internet to prevent a spread of conspiracies and viral videos. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. Devolution is hitting the mainstream. Timing couldn't be better. Kelly Loves Oak says, I think it's a good decision to bring DPH back to its roots as you did Sunday night. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I'm enjoying doing it. It's going to be finding a way to do that every week, you know, because like if we just do the recap thing, eventually we're going to be done like recapping. But how can we do it so like maybe there's a little bit that we recap every week that is somehow topical and related to the news of the day? That might be the trick. Why is CC worried? I don't know what's happening. Anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to get you out of here. I'll be back on tonight with Baseless Conspiracies, me and Zach Payne. I'm not sure what we're doing tonight, but it's a great show always. So make sure you guys tune in, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's the show where we go over all the things we were called conspiracy theorists for talking about or believing. But with that, I'm going to get you over to White Chromes. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I'll see you tonight.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why stop me?